Oh my god. Hello guys. Hello. Um my live yet? Alright guys. My name is Toby Nwazo. And today I'm privileged to be live on Redalia Workspaces, and we'll be talking about how to make money from freelance writing. Okay, Redalia Workspaces is a business owned by a good friend of mine, Florence, in Ikeja, and they've been doing exploits. And today I'm supposed to speak on how to make money from freelance writing. I need to know if anybody is live yet. And feel free to also ask your questions, make your comments, and we can take it up from there. Okay. I'll wait a little bit until I see a comment or a like, so I will know that we are doing the right thing or that somebody is watching. Okay. Okay, yeah, we're live. So guys, I need to know that you can hear me, and I need to know who is online yet. I need to know who is online at the moment. I'm going to share this to guys my timeline so that other people can join in. I need to know who is online yet. Give me a minute. Okay, I'll go straight to the point. As you join, you meet us, you ask your questions at the end, and I'll try to attend to all the questions. I want to give this about 15 minutes so that we can now interact. So like I said, my name is Toby Nwazo, and I'm a freelance writer. I have a freelance writing firm. Okay, I'll go straight to the point. As you join, you meet us, you ask your questions at the end. And today we're going to talk about freelance writing. And the reason why I am qualified to talk about this is because for more than 2 years now, almost 3 years, I've had just one business, and that is freelance writing. Someone asked me recently, Toby, do you have any other business apart from what you're doing right now? And I said, no. 90% of my income comes from writing. And that has to do with not just freelance writing, other forms of writing. But for today, we're going to talk about freelance writing. So get your questions ready as we talk. I will look at your comments and I'll see what you have, and I will address the questions. So what this video is going to do for you is to help you to see the avenues that you as a writer can make money from freelance writing. There are a lot of people that are freelance writers, but the problem is not about you being a freelance writer. The problem is how much are you making from that freelance writing business. So that's what we're going to try to address today. And basically I'm going to just talk about some basic foundational stuff that will help you generally as a freelance writing, and then I'll share 7 correct avenues that I've also witnessed, not just things I've read in books, but things that I've experienced, things that I know something about, and I'll share them in details as much as possible. And I expect you that as you apply them, you'll also start making your own money. So there are two phases of this session. The first phase is about the basics, and then the next phase is about going into what we are here for, making money. But basically, number one, for you to be a freelance writer, you need to have the ability to write, which means you should have a writing material, either a laptop or a phone where you can write. And number two, one thing I always recommend is that you create a landing page for yourself. Yes, get a good landing page for yourself. Personally, I have a blog, and even when I started, I had a blog. I still created another blog and a third blog, and there are other blogs. But even if you cannot create a blog, that is technical, but it is easier right now. You can always start with your social media sites. You are online. You have a Facebook page, your own page, your timeline. Let it be known that you are a freelance writer. You can create posts about it. You can design your profile page to show that I'm a freelance writer. I offer freelance writing services. The same applies to your LinkedIn page. I always emphasize on LinkedIn, because one of the major ways that you can make money online is to be visible. If people can't see you, they are not going to give you businesses. So if you don't have a blog or have any other site where you can be seen, one place you can always be seen are your social media sites. Facebook is good. Then professionally, most importantly, is your LinkedIn page. You should not joke with that. Then there is Google Plus, and there is LinkedIn, of course. So you need to let people see from your page, that's your timeline or your page if you have a page, that you offer these services, freelance writing services. And then thirdly, you must get serious about it. Freelance writing is not a hobby. If it is still a hobby to you, what you are going to make from it is what I call hobby income. Hobby income is when maybe in a 6 months period you're able to make 2,000 naira. Maybe one of your friends just decided to, okay, let's give you 2,000 naira. But if you are serious about making good money from your business of freelance writing, then you should make it a professional job for yourself. Okay? Those are the basic things I need to cover before we go on to making money. Hello. I would like to have a little engagement now. I see that 2 people have joined. So let's just know if I'm talking too fast. Can you hear me? Am I audible enough? Am I visible enough? Do I need to come closer to the camera? Let me know. Okay? Now, another thing you should do is, when you get serious about it, join freelance writing groups on Facebook and on LinkedIn. I cannot start giving you names of writing groups offhand right now, but once you go and search, just type freelance writing, you see a lot of groups and pages. Get on those pages, become active, read what other people are writing, then write yours. Let them see that you know what you are doing. On these pages, from time to time, freelance writing gigs, that's freelance writing jobs, are usually advertised. It's your job now to apply for those jobs. Okay? And it's also important that you always deliver on schedule. It's very, very important. Your reputation depends on it. If you are known to deliver on schedule, the clients that have worked with you will recommend you to other clients. Then you must never plagiarize. Google doesn't joke with it. And if you work for anyone and they find out that you plagiarize content, Google may penalize them. And when that happens, it's going to be bad for your business because your reputation is at stake. Okay? Now, that covered, I'd like to know if anybody has any question yet, before I can go on to the next phase, which is the freelance writing money making stage. Okay. You can see the people that are live. All right. Now I'm going to talk about 7 avenues. I wanted to talk about more, but I want to bring it down to 7 sure avenues. They are guaranteed. These are things that you can start making money from even today if you do the right thing. All right, Obilo Joshua, when I talk about plagiarizing, what I mean is you copying content that has already been published by someone else, or content that is written by someone else. No. The right spelling is P-L-A-G and then GRizing the rest. Now, somebody else produces content and then you copy it without giving credit to the person. Is stealing. So plagiarizing is a form of stealing that has to do with content. Google does not joke with it. If you do it, they will find you out and they will penalize your site, and that's very bad for business. All right. So, thank you, Moses Nnamdi. Thank you. That means you can hear me very well. All right. I'll go straight to the 7 avenues I want to talk about today. And the first on that list is ghostwriting. Ghostwriting. Ghostwriting simply means you are a ghost. Let me put it that way. Now, the first time I ever made money from writing as a freelance writer, I made it as a ghostwriter. What it meant was that someone gave me a job to write, and I wrote and sent to him and published in his name. So I wrote, but he gets the credit as a writer, but then he pays me money for my work. So that means in as much as it's supposed to be plagiarizing, except that I sold my rights to that work to him. So that's what ghostwriting is all about. As a freelance writer, one of the easiest ways you can make money is by ghostwriting. There are millions of sites online that need content. There are millions of social media sites and pages that need content. People need content because according to Bill Gates in 2018 and in 21st century, content is king, and good content is a very great king. So if you know how to produce content writing, then trust me, there are thousands of clients out there that would pay you to be able to produce content on the sites and the blogs that they manage. All you need to do is to be able to reach out to them, and that's why I said at the beginning that you need to be active on Facebook pages or groups, LinkedIn pages or groups, and other social media sites like Twitter. These are places that you need to show yourself, and people need to see that you offer these services of freelance writing, and then they can contact you. Or if you see other people that are blog owners or that manage big blogs, you can apply to them to offer free ghostwriting services for them. I'll get to that point later on. Okay, then the second thing you need to do, now this is a secret, is you can always reach out to thought leaders on these social media sites and offer them to help turn their content to mini guides or short ebooks. Let me give you a very practical instance. I belong to a Facebook group that is called I think is about marketing. It's a marketing group, and the guy in charge of the group posted something online last night, just before I went to bed. He said he needed somebody to convert all that he has posted between January and now into a kind of book, a PDF format, and then send to him. All the person needs to do is click on the page, open every post, copy it, paste it on Microsoft Word, copy the next one, paste it on Microsoft Word with a topic to differentiate them. Bring everything together, save it as PDF file, and send to him. That may look very easy and simple to you, but these guys do not have that time. Now, for that particular guy, he knows what he wants to do, so he asks for it. There are so many people that do not know about this. All you need to do is reach out to them, tell them that I can do this for you. You have made 20 posts in the past 2 months, and people are always looking for your content. Why not bring everything together in a form of short ebook or a mini guide, and then you can sell it? You know, these are posts that help people over time. Now imagine where people are always looking for what you are writing, and then you can tell them, hey, everything I've written in the past 2 months are in this PDF file, and you can get it for 3,000 naira, 5,000 naira. It is valuable content. Trust me, these thought leaders know the value of these things, and they will pay you for it because they're going to make money from it, and then they would have to pay you for the money they are making. All right, welcome, Redalia Workspaces. Finally, you are joining in. If you have questions, I would like you to bring it up in the course. I'll address them, or I'll note them and then address them at the last after the last point. Okay. So I've talked about 2 points already. One is ghostwriting. The second one is you reaching out to thought leaders on social media and offering them the service of turning the content they've always produced into mini guides or ebooks. Okay. Now the third thing you can always do is, please, this is very important. Had it been this was something I'm writing, I would have given you links, but it's very easy. You don't need to be spoon-fed. Just go to Google, type out list of websites that pay you to write for them. Websites that will pay you to write for them. Trust me, there are thousands of sites like this. I've seen a lot. Presently, I write for a lot of websites and they pay me. Now, there are a whole lot of other websites that I write for that do not pay me, but there are also some that I write for that pay me. You'll be surprised that there are sites that will be willing to pay you as much as 20,000, some 30,000 naira, and most of these sites are outside Nigeria. For me personally, USA and the UK, they can pay you as much as $50. Sometimes, if you are very good, $100. And there are sites that can pay you up to $200, $500. But it means they will have to what you are going to do for them is going to be really, really gigantic, if you know what I mean. But at least you can get sites that will pay you up to $20, $10, $50 to write consecutively for them. I think in 2016, I had one site that was paying me about $75 to write 3 contents every month. I was always publishing 3 per month, and for each month they pay me, for each article I publish, they pay $75. That may not be a lot of money to you, but that was $225 per month just from one site. Now, if you convert that to naira, you can imagine that's, as of then, that was about 100,000 naira just from one site. Now, imagine when you have 5 or 10 of those sites and they are always looking for your content and you produce these contents, they pay you and they always pay. Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4, I'm not going to dwell too much on this because it is a course on its own. One other thing you can do and start doing, this is if you really want to make a killing from writing. There is something called sales letter writing. Some people call it copywriting. This is what you write just before you sell a product. Let's say I just wrote a book. I won't just bring out the book and say, hey, I've written a book, come and buy it. I'll write very wonderful content that you'll be reading, and before you get to the end, you're almost like, where is the book? I want to buy this book. This is going to help my life. Now, there are people that are specialists in this. They are crazy marketers. They are dangerous salesmen. And when they produce content, they make you to buy the product they are subtly advertising. The key word there is subtle. Sometimes it can be straightforward, but the good thing and the important thing there is that once you've gone through the content, you would feel like buying whatever they are selling. That art is called sales writing. I cannot talk too much about it because I'm not a guru there, but one thing you can do right now is go on Google. If you are interested, type how to be a good sales writer or courses that you can enroll in that cover sales writing. Trust me, if you learn it, you'll be in hot demand. What I'm talking about is you writing a kind of content that will probably take you about 2 days to write, but imagine writing just one content and at the end somebody pays you as much as 500,000 naira or 1 million naira just for one content. Now, don't ask a lot of questions about this. I'm not an expert here. I just know that people are making money from it, and I've tried my hands on it, but I'm not good on that yet. I need to take a course to improve on that, so I cannot really answer questions on that, but this is something that you can explore, or we can explore together. But trust me, it works. Okay, so number 5, yes, sales writing, sales letter writing is the same thing as copywriting. Yes. Okay. So the fifth thing that you can do to make money from freelance writing or as a freelance writer is to write an ebook and get it published on Kindle, that's Amazon, or there are some other sites that can publish your book and sell. Personally, I've never published a hard copy book. I have written 1 or 2 books in the past, though for now those all of them are free. The reason I write those books is just to get content out there and create a name and get more visibility. But before the end of this month or before the end of next month, I'm going to release my first paid book. However, as a writer interested in making money, you can turn your thoughts into an ebook. How do you do this? Find out one particular area that you have become very good at. For instance, I've made tons of money as a freelance writer. I've made a lot of money from other avenues of writing. I've done a couple of things online that made me money. So if I'm able to bring these ideas and the steps I took and arrange them sequentially into an ebook and put it up for sale, trust me, people will buy. Okay, so you bring out your ideas and your thoughts into an ebook. It's very simple. You write on Microsoft Word, and then while you are saving, you save it as a PDF file, get a graphic designer to design a good cover page for you, talk about it, and get people that you know to review it for you, and then you send it to Amazon. The process is straightforward. I would recommend you put a low price tag to it, like 99 cents or $1.99, $2.99. You see a lot of books with that kind of price. The good thing about it is that when the prices are low like that, people tend to buy them easily because it's just $2, it's just $1, and at the same time it will still give them value. But the more they buy it, the more your rating increases and the more people review it, and that means subsequently other books you will write, you can even increase the prices. Or even if you don't, with time you have 2, 3, 4 books making sales over time on Amazon for you. And trust me, imagine if 4 of them can just sell about 10 copies each in a week or in a month. That's some good money for you. We're talking about maybe close to $100, $200, and add that to other things that you do as a writer too. That's good money. Okay, good. Now I want to talk about this also. Is very important. As a recap, I hope you remember we've talked about ghostwriting. Then we've talked about you going online to search for sites that would pay you to write for them, because a lot of people need content. A lot of people have blogs and they can't write. There are so many blog owners that don't have time to write. There are so many social media influencers that don't have time to write. They wouldn't pay you well to write for them. There are so many big time authors that get a lot of writing gigs that they cannot really do, and they will need to outsource it. That's why they need to see that you do this. I also talked about you joining groups and being active in them so that they'll see that you offer these services. And then we talked about sales letter writing, and I talked about writing ebooks and publishing on Amazon. And then I want to talk about Skillshare. Okay, I got in contact with one of the administrators on Skillshare last year around July, and what Skillshare is a big site where people come to learn just about anything. You want to learn any skill, there are teachers that will pay you, that you will pay to learn these skills. It's like an online school for you to learn any skill. You want to learn graphic designing, you want to learn writing, you want to learn how to build a boat, you want to learn how to repair a phone, you want to learn just about anything that is a skill. You can come to Skillshare and you see a lot of courses that will teach these things for you. Now, as a freelance writer, you can register on Skillshare and teach how you can make money from freelance writing, or how you can grow as a freelance writer, or just about anything that you think would be something of concern to other freelance writers. So Personally, for me, I have a page on Skillshare, and they invited me to come and talk about the things I do, online businesses, freelance writing. That's for me, and you can also try that out. It's also another avenue, because I've forgotten exactly how much they pay, but they pay per view, and also they pay per number of people that subscribe to your courses. And I think it's $3. I've forgotten the particular amount, but one I know is that at least you can be sure of making $100, $200, $300 and above per month, depending on the number of people that subscribe to your courses. And the more you teach and show that you are good in this, they will keep subscribing, and the more people that subscribe to your courses, the much more money they pay you. Okay, you can type that out on Google, Skillshare. I think it's skillshare.net or skillshare.com, I've forgotten, but it's one of them. So just type that out on Google and explore that option too. Then lastly, this is a last resort. It's a last resort as far as I'm concerned. And what is that? It's Fiverr. It's Upwork. The reason I call it a last resort is because Fiverr just has every Tom, Dick and Harry on it. I don't know how many millions of people that are on Fiverr, and the competition there is hectic. Upwork, the same thing applies. The competition there is something else. But this is a place you can still go, register, and create a profile for yourself as a freelance writer. And when the way it works is this: assuming I need some jobs, like there are times in the past that I've needed some jobs that I couldn't write myself. What I would do is I would go to Upwork, or mainly Fiverr, and just look for any freelance writer and look at their rating, look at their reviews, look at how much they charge, if it's something I can afford, and just look at somebody I feel that can do the job and give him a job. And they have a kind of escrow accounts, and you paying the money to know that, to make sure that the money has left you, and then they start working. When they finish the article you want them to write, you review it, and if you approve, the money is released from the escrow account and it enters the account. So if you are a writer, the same process. All you need to do is you make yourself visible there, and there will always be people that would come to post jobs, look for writers, and you can either meet them or you wait for them to meet you, depending on which one works. And the reason why I put it as a last resort is because personally I think the pay is usually not very encouraging. Fiverr, the basic pay is $5, but as your rank increases you can charge maybe $10, $20, $30. But what I call that one is at all, at least if it's just good there, you get something. The same thing applies to Upwork too. Upwork used to be freelancer.com, sorry, and I think they upgraded to Upwork or something. So if you go to upwork.com, you register. Once you register, you will see a lot of job boards, people that are looking for freelance jobs, and one of those things they always look for is freelance writing. So your job is to make sure you visit it every day, apply for these jobs, and if your profile is good and you have good maybe some recommendations, or you've done some things in the past that you can showcase, you get jobs there. Okay, so these are the 7 things that can help you make money as a freelance writer. As a recap, I'm going to talk about them shortly. The first one is ghostwriting. To offer ghostwriting services means you write in somebody's name. Number 2, you reach out to thought leaders on social media sites and other sites and offer them the service of compounding their content into a mini guide or an ebook. Trust me, there are so many places where people share good content. They are always sharing it. Why not reach out to them and say, hey, you've written a series of contents of about 800 words for the past 2 weeks. Let me bring this content together and design them, bring them together in form of an ebook, and you pay me maybe 5K, 10K, depending. And when they see the prospect and see that they can actually use this to improve their brand image, or maybe sell and make money, trust me, these guys will pay you. So number 3, I said you should go to Google, type list of websites that will pay you to write for them. It's as simple as that. I can assure you there are hundreds. Personally, I've seen one particular page that had more than 100 websites, and these websites pay from $100 and above per article. Okay, these things are live, they exist, and personally I've made money from it. I've worked in a couple. Even there was a time I used to write on Redalia right here, and Redalia used to be one of my clients back in those days. And okay, now there are so many other sites out there, both here in Nigeria and outside also. And I talked about sales letter writing, which is what you do. Thank you, Ayodeji Ademola. Yes, you are right. That's the right spelling. That's the right spelling. Plagiarism, it means copying other people's work and passing it off as your own. And there are plagiarism checkers online that you can always use, so that after you've written something, you can paste it there to see the percentage rating for what you've written and see if you need to make corrections. When you paste your work on any plagiarism checker, it will tell you if any line or something has been published before, so you can always correct it. And even if you don't, the person you are writing for is probably going to do that, and if it's plagiarized, they're not going to wait. I mean, they're not going to take it. They won't find it funny with you, because it's going to be a very good risk for them, a very big risk for them. So I talked about sales letter writing. You can make a killing from it, but like I said, don't ask me questions about sales letter writing. I'm not a guru here. I don't know how to write good sales letters yet. It's one of the things I'm going to take as a course and learn. It's just that the last time I saw a course on it, it was very expensive. It was about 150,000 naira. So I put it in my bucket list of one of the things I'm going to do. But trust me, if you learn how to do sales letter writing, you can write just 10 articles in one whole month, and you can be smiling to the bank with more than 2-3 million naira. Trust me, I'm not joking. This is real. This is where the killing is, because these are things that you write for people and they make millions of money from it. Then I talked about you writing an ebook. Just choose one topic. There must be something you know how to do. It's the truth. There must be something you know how to do that you've done over time and it has worked for you. It could be something that looks very silly, but trust me, when you're able to write it out and turn it into an ebook, and here's one secret that you must know, please. An ebook does not mean that you must write a book as wonderful and great as John Maxwell's books, or maybe Brian Tracy's books, or Miles Monroe. It must not be up to 300 pages or 250 pages. An ebook could be as little as 20 pages, 25 pages, 15 pages, 30 pages, something that small. But so far as it brings out value, I mean, it gives value, people will pay you for it. Okay, thank you, Redalia Workspaces. Yeah, I'm a gifted writer. Thank you for that. Okay, like I wanted to point out, I'm going to write, I've written an ebook in January. I'm going to write another ebook this month. It's just that I have a lot of things that I'm busy with, but I must write it this month, and I'm going to write another one next month. So if you're up for it, we can form a clique together and keep ourselves accountable. All right, I'll probably share 1 or 2 secrets with you if you're up, and then you can learn on some things on your own and share. But the major thing there is that we can keep ourselves accountable. So how far, how many chapters have you written? When are you going to finish the first draft? When are you going to edit it? Something like that, so that we can say, okay, by the 31st of March, we've all written 1 ebook each. Trust me, it could be as easy as writing just 20 pages or 15 pages. Then I talked about teaching freelance writing as a course on Skillshare. And lastly, I said you can always go to Fiverr and Upwork. So that's that for today. I believe if you followed us from the beginning, you must have at least learned 1 or 2 things about how to make money from freelance writing. What I talked about is just freelance writing. There are so many other forms of writing, and time will fail me to talk about all of them. But as a newbie or as a starter, and you want to just start making money immediately, freelance writing is the way to go. Okay. Yeah, I see you, Florence. Freelance writing is the way to go. Now, I said I'm going to share 1 bonus for those of us that are able to make it to this class, and I'm still thinking whether it's something I should share or not. But this is one secret that has helped me to be in the game for the past 3 years. I started writing full time since 2015, and between July 2015 and now I've not had any other business. Any other income I get is just small money, maybe 5,000, 10,000 here, so money up and down. But 90% of the income I have is gotten through writing. And what helps me to always have jobs to do, so much that many times I can't even keep up, and I now start giving it to other writers to help me do, is this secret. If you want to make it big as a freelance writer or as any type of online entrepreneur, you must be visible. Yes, if you want to make money in the 21st century online, you must learn how to make noise. How I mean is stay visible. People will give you jobs when they see that you can do something for them that is valuable. People will give you jobs when they see you are good at what you do. So let them keep seeing you. For instance, I write almost every day on my timeline. I share articles there every day. These are things that would cost me money if I was giving it to people to do, but I share it for free. And what I'm trying to do is to give out so much value, crazy value out there. People are seeing these things, and trust me, a lot of people are contacting me and giving me stuff to do for them. That is just one aspect. But other things you can do is to write on bigger sites. If you are here in Nigeria, you can start writing on Naira Land. Let them know you. When I started writing on Bella Niger. My first 10,000 Naira as a freelance writer was somebody that saw the articles I've written over time on Bella Niger that contacted me himself. Now I tell people that 80% of the jobs I do not go for these jobs. The clients come and meet me. Why? Because they see my name in a lot of places, and they see that, okay, this guy is good in this thing, this guy is good, he offers these services, so they reach out to me. So this is a secret that can keep you on top above other writers. Let your name be found in these places. Believe me, when you are there and they see you, they will come for you. All right, thank you guys for listening. And right now, if you have any question or you want to make any contribution, feel free to shoot, and I'll still stay with you for a few minutes before we call it a day. And see your guy to be in. Thank you, Redalia, for the opportunity. Okay, I'll still be here for a few minutes to attend to maybe one or two questions, and before we call it a day. All right. Thanks for all the people that have been liking and joining in. Thank you, Moses Nnamdi. Thank you, Redelia Workspace, for the opportunity. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Ayodeji Ademula. Please send me a friend request. I would like to connect with you. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Redalia Flores, for that question. You know the funny thing? Most of the people that make the greatest noise online are introverts. There's this thing about the online space that gives introverts the confidence that they can actually do anything they want to do. They may not be able to express themselves physically, but when they come online and they are with their keypads or their keyboards, they can do a lot of things. Trust me, it's the same thing. You can always make noise online, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. Try it, you find that it is easy. And when you start, somehow it gets addictive because you start getting feedback. Okay, so just try it. The first time it may seem difficult, but you try it, it starts from there. Okay. Sorry guys, this is my first Facebook live video. There's so many things I'm seeing here that I didn't know I could do. I didn't know I could invite people to come online, and it's quite unfortunate that the video has ended and I'm not doing it, but I guess they can still come and watch the replay. Alright, I don't know how long I'll have left, but if you still have one or two questions, feel free to ask, and I'll treat them in the next few minutes, maybe in the next 5 to 10 minutes before we call it a day. Okay. All right. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, for anyone that is joining now, you can always reach out to me. Toby Nwazo is my name on Facebook, and if you have other questions, you can reach out to me there, and I'll try as much as possible to answer them. Thank you, Redalia, for the platform you gave. I appreciate you. You are doing great, and I believe we will meet again soon.